It's the holiday season, holiday season. Hi, friends. Welcome back to What They Don't Say. I'm thinking about Christmas cookies. I'm thinking about holidays. I'm thinking about snow. I'm thinking about the fact that I am about a week and a half out from Christmas, and one package that had a gift in it for my mom is nowhere to be found, even though it said it's delivered. And the rest of the people in my life, sorry, but your gifts are going to be late. This is ridiculous, okay? They're going to be late. The holidays, such a time, right? We're supposed to be excited. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It is also the time that represents family gatherings, whether it be dinners, cookie making, present opening, Hanukkah dinners. I don't even know. The holiday season is quite literally the time of the year where you are expected to feel the most joyful, the happiest, all the time. Regardless of what's going on in your personal life, you're supposed to drop everything to go to that dinner with the uncle and aunt that you don't like. You're supposed to show up to your stepdad's house or your stepmom's house on Christmas morning and then go to the other one for Christmas evening. Regardless of what is going on, you're supposed to attend these functions, these gatherings, these events with a smile on your face because guess the fuck what? It's the best time of the fucking year. And in reality, I think the holidays are a very sad and can be a very challenging time of year. For many people, the holidays represent a time of loss and remembering people that they love that are no longer here. They don't get to celebrate the best time of the year with them. It brings finals. For students, you're literally suffering to the max right now, especially if you had Thanksgiving break and then you probably had maybe less than a week before finals began. You're studying, you're suffering, you're trying to get that group project together that you should have finished before break, but you didn't. You're tired, you're exhausted, you're burnt out. On top of seasonal depression. If you're in an area like I'm in Colorado, it gets a little nasty this time of year. It's a little cloudy. It's snowy, which don't get me wrong, I love the cold weather and I love the snow, but sometimes I look outside and all I think is this is kind of drab and I don't really want to do anything. And that seasonal depression can just hit you at the perfect time and it's literally dark at 3 p.m. It's drabby outside. For me, the holidays are a time where it's a reminder that I was raped because my rape anniversary is on November 15th, so right before Thanksgiving. And then the entire trial and investigation process began the week about 2 weeks after I was assaulted, and then the court martial took place a week before Christmas. And so my body definitely just remembers this time of year as a traumatic time of year, a frustrating type of year, a lonely and a hurt time of year. And your body literally remembers trauma. And so regardless of what this time of year is for you, maybe it's a really happy time. I just wanted to come and talk a little bit about this idea of protecting your peace around the holidays. And I've been seeing it a lot on social media of like, oh, protect your peace. It's okay. You don't have to go to the family event. Frankly, I agree. I remember when I was little, I had a YouTube channel and I used to post makeup videos and like tutorials and, makeup hauls and things like that, or drive with me's. And so, yeah, I mean, I was a little bit older when I stopped, but from now being 23, I look back and I just think, oh my gosh, I was so young. But yes, also the channel is still around. You can go watch the videos. They're incredibly embarrassing, but hey, I was doing what I loved. Anyways, I used to have this YouTube channel and I was so incredibly proud of it. Like, I knew that the videos weren't perfect. I knew that I wasn't the best at makeup, but I would spend so much time creating a makeup look, filming and editing and uploading it. And I loved the entire process. I loved all of it. And then I would go to a family gathering and all I would think was, oh my gosh, I hope that nobody mentions my YouTube channel. We'd be sitting at the family dinner and with my uncles and my cousins, and my mom knew about my YouTube channel, but I was just hoping that when someone says, Shannon, what have you been up to these days? That my mom wouldn't say, Shannon, tell them about your YouTube channel. And I used to sit there just filled with embarrassment and stress because although I was so proud of the work that I was producing, I was so embarrassed about it because of the way I was worried about how my family would perceive it. And I think that is on a very small scale a demonstration of kind of what the holidays feel like. It's this, you're in a group of people that you don't necessarily know or love or want to be around, and they're asking you questions about things that you don't want to talk about because you haven't seen them in a year. But you have to because you're in this setting and it's in front of everybody, and it's just this big catch up between everybody just going over all the things you don't want to talk about. When are you getting married? Do you have a girlfriend? Are you going to have a baby anytime soon? How's school going? Why don't you have a job yet? How's your job going? I don't like your job. That girlfriend, are you still dating her? Truthfully, wasn't her biggest fan. You aren't on the sports team anymore? What's that all about? You get put in an environment where you are forced to talk about things you don't want to talk about. And on top of that sort of forced conversation, you might also be really struggling with something traumatic. On another note, I know the holidays can also be particularly anxiety inducing. Maybe the person at the family gathering is quite literally the person that assaulted you. Maybe it's your uncle and you're trying to explain to your mom, like you have been for years, that Uncle Timmy touched you when you were 14 and nobody did anything about it. Nobody gave a shit. And you're still suffering with that. So every time that you're expected to go to that Thanksgiving dinner, that Christmas dinner, this family gathering, you see Uncle Timmy, your trauma response kicks in. He corners you and is asking you about things, but nobody cares and nobody knows that you're so uncomfortable. But you're at this gathering and you're expected to play nice, because that's what happens during the holidays, is you're expected to play nice in every scenario, whether you're okay with it and able to do that or not. And on top of all of these anxiety-inducing things, you are expected to buy gifts for people, whether it's people that you don't actually love or care about, but you're going to be with them and they're going to be opening up gifts in front of you. Or maybe it's people you do care about, but financially you've been really strapped this year and you're really struggling to just make ends meet. But don't forget, it's the most wonderful time of the year. Something that I have been noticing a lot about myself, specifically during this time of year, but also throughout the whole year, is that I find that I have a really, really hard time being happy during the holidays. And I feel that I let the stress of having to be a certain way this time of year, it seems to overcome me, and it impacts the people that I love in my life. And so, for example, after Thanksgiving, I spent some time with my mom and we were putting together a tea party for my two nieces. These are my nieces on my stepdad's side, and my mom and I quite literally spent almost 2 full days putting together this tea party. And it was, not redoing a part of the house, but decorating a part of the house. And we were, cooking all this tiny little food for them and figuring out what we're going to wear and how to set the table, and everything just needed to be just perfect. And over those 48 hours, I really don't think that I could have been worse to my mom. I mean, I probably could have, but let me just paint a picture of what it's like. Okay. The first 3 hours of working together, I'm great. I'm happy. I'm doing my best. Okay. I'm giving her my best, even though frankly, I'm not a very girly girl. I don't necessarily want to be putting frills on countertops or things like that, but I'm doing this because my mom is excited about it and I love her and I want to help her. And then slowly over time, I'm just getting increasingly angry that this is what I'm spending my time doing. And I'm angry that I'm angry about it. And I start being short with my mom. I'm giving her no joyful energy. I am joyless. I am giving her nothing. And I don't know if she's seeing it, but inside, I'm just fully angry. I am so upset that we were doing this. I am so short-tempered in my head. And once again, I don't know how obvious it is if it's really coming out, but internally, my dialogue is like, fuck this. I don't want to be doing this. Of course you're doing this wrong. I don't like the way that that's going. And it's just this kind of vicious, nasty internal thing. And then something happens. I get so upset that I can't enjoy this. I'm so upset at myself for being angry about the situation. I'm so upset that I'm feeling anger but I can't even stop it. At least I feel like I can't stop the feelings of anger and distress and frustration with the situation. And so it's a cycle of getting upset, but then being upset that I'm upset at my mom and that I'm not just enjoying this time. And then I start to think, oh my gosh, if she dies soon, I'm going to feel horrible that I was so upset. Like, why couldn't I just enjoy this? Like, life is so short. I should enjoy this. I need to be more joyful, but I can't. Like, I get stuck in this cycle. And it's so frustrating and it's so exhausting because I leave my time that I spent with her just thinking, why couldn't I have been better? Why couldn't I just stop and smell the roses, put a smile on my face and enjoy this time with my mom? Part of me feels like, yes, that's true. Everything you just said, that is true. Like, you are capable of pausing your emotions, taking a reset. Like, ultimately, you're in charge of a lot of your emotions. But on the other side of things, I started to think that although this sort of anger and being upset about my anger is something that happens outside of the holidays, I started to zone in and think, okay, my body knows that the holidays were basically a war zone for me for a few years, where I was struggling to get through trial. I was emotionally in a really dark place. I'd quit the sport that I loved. There was a lot going on. So my body's remembering that this is a very like a war zone like time for myself. Additionally, there may be some unresolved trauma between my mom and I. There was a set of years where we really, really struggled. We were in therapy. We couldn't really get throughout the day without, me constantly getting in trouble for things, which truly was like a daily basis. I was getting in trouble for something. And granted, I wasn't, the best child. I was a little bit of an angsty teenager, but I would get in trouble for something, and then we would have a conversation about it, and I would just sort of sit there. And there were times where she really hurt me, and I know that she was just being a parent trying to do the best that she could do, but ultimately it damaged our relationship. Me making poor decisions damaged our relationship. Us having to go to therapy helped us mend our relationship, but it was a really hard time. And even though we have a much better relationship now, I think that there is still some sense of like trauma there. It's not perfect. Our relationship is not perfect. And trauma in general can make you hypervigilant to the environment around you, to the way that somebody's emotions are around you. And if you're a hypervigilant person, you can also very easily be triggered by things because you're more aware of what's going on around you. And I started to wonder if some of the things that my mom does, if they're just straight up triggering, but I'm only noticing them because I'm so hypervigilant. This could be wrong. This is kind of just a theory. But even though my mom is now so much more patient and loving and shows her love in a completely different way than she did when I was a teenager, it doesn't take away the times where she wasn't patient, loving, and kind towards me when I was younger. It doesn't take away all of those things that she said to me, even though she has grown so much as a person now. And it's not to say that I haven't forgiven her for those times where she treated me poorly, which, I mean, honestly, coming out of my mouth, I'm kind of thinking like, have I? I don't know. I am just saying that currently I'm trying to parent my younger self. And I don't really know exactly what that looks like, but I'm trying to unlearn that short temper that I had when I was younger. I'm trying to unlearn that unresolved anger and frustrated that I have deep down with my mom. And that's okay if you are too. You're not alone. This brings me to my next point in this episode, and it is protecting your peace through boundaries. So I've seen it all over social media talking about protecting your peace. Protect your peace over the holidays. It's okay if you don't go to the event. It's okay, blah, 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 blah. Well, guess what? I text my mom almost every single day, okay? It's not me like saying long texts or telling her everything I'm doing necessarily, but we usually do little check-in texts, okay? And then every couple of weeks we call each other. On top of these phone calls, my mom will occasionally ask me to go on trips, and she'll say, let's just go somewhere for a couple of days. Let's go here for a couple of days. And I'm so grateful that she does that. That is so nice. I'm so blessed that I have that potential opportunity to do that with my mom. But I do not give my mom the availability that I probably could have. And I do this because I know that I'm going to have a better quality overall time if I spend shorter amount of time with my mom rather than a long amount of time. Okay? It is very easy to sit there and start to feel guilty about not going to all of the functions. It is very easy to sit there and feel guilty for not spending X amount of time and all the time that you have available with the people who have asked you for that time. But you need to remember that sometimes spending 2 hours at the dinner instead of 5 hours at the dinner is going to make the dinner so much better for everybody. And that's because you only have a certain amount of time where you can keep your shit together before your cork blows, you blow up at everybody, you have a serious like trauma response, anxiety attack, and you have to leave in shambles and feel even worse about it than if you hadn't gone in the first place. This is a quality over quantity thing. In the context of the holidays, if you're supposed to go to 2 or 3 different gatherings and you are thinking, I don't know if I'm going to make it to number 3. I don't even know if I'm going to make it through number 1. Then don't. Go for the amount of time that you know that you're going to be remotely okay, and then leave. Have something that you need to do. If you're in school, say that you have to study for finals. If you're out of school already, say that you're doing some extracurricular project or something over the holidays. If you are supposed to go to a family gathering and you just feel like you can't, you're sick. It is perfectly okay to set other things in place so that you do not need to attend the entire length of the things that are going to rip you to shreds and break you down when you're already broken. Quality over quantity is key here, people. You are not a bad person for not attending every holiday function. You are not a bad person for leaving the function early or arriving late because you're going to lose your shit. In fact, if you are protecting your own peace by doing something like that, you're also protecting the peace of the gathering, at least the part of it that's in your control. Why is it that you're always the first person to sit there and make yourself uncomfortable and heighten your anxiety and stress yourself the fuck out for everybody else around you? Why are you making yourself so uncomfortable to make everybody else so comfortable? It's because you're a good fucking person and you care about the people around you. You're somebody who likes to put others before yourself, which I would like to note is a very good quality to have. But when that very thing is tearing yourself to pieces to try to make sure everybody else is okay, and you're just sitting there holding everyone together, holding that entire event together, and while on the inside, you are suffering, you are breaking apart, soon you are going to have nothing left to give to the people around you that you love and that you care about who really need you. So what I'm asking of you this holiday season is to make sure that you are not breaking yourself into a million pieces so that you can put everybody else back together. So that you can be okay at this family function where you know there is tension and you're trying to break the tension and you're there, but really you're going to lose your shit. Quality over quantity, protect your peace, set that boundary, and know that it is okay to set that boundary. This is something that I've been really trying to get better at lately because boundaries are super hard. And every time I set a boundary, I feel guilty for it. I sit there and I'm like, oh, maybe I should just, like give a little leeway. No, a boundary is there to protect you, okay? Saying that you cannot attend something, saying that somebody is not healthy for you is okay. Let's repeat after me. I do not need to apologize for the boundaries that I set for myself to protect my peace. Now, if you're alone for the holidays, I would first like to say, congratulations, okay? You might be thinking, I'm sad. I have no friends. I have no family. People are dead. People don't think about me. But guess what? You have something that other people don't. You have freedom. Free will, which is truly kind of honestly the best gift during the holidays. If you are alone on whatever holiday you celebrate or whatever day of the week that you want to designate as a holiday this year, let's make a freaking ball out of it. This is what I want you to do. I want you to make a fort, okay? Whether it's in your room, your living room, some other area of your home, I want you to make a fort. I want you to find a little light, whether you need to light a candle safely outside of your fort. I'm not asking you to set your house on fire, please, for the love of God, don't do that. But you're going to find a little light. You're going to make yourself so nice and cozy. Prior to making this fort, you're going to go to the grocery store, okay? And you're going to pick out something salty, something sweet, and something for you to sip on, okay? Whether that's a wine, a poppy, a ice lemon seltzer water, I don't know. And you're going to get these things and maybe you're going to chef up, okay? If you're going to chef up, you're going to turn on a YouTube, a podcast, some lovely cozy tunes, and you're going to cook yourself an elaborate meal. And elaborate can mean box mac and cheese, or it can mean steak, mashed potatoes, asparagus, and some sort of glazed thing on top because you're bougie and you know how to chef the fuck up. Way to go. Get it, girl. And you're going to take that snack, dinner, breakfast, lunch, and your beverage, wine, water, lemonade, soda, and you're going to sit down in your fort and you are going to put on whatever the people don't want you to put on, okay? This could be a video game. This could be that reality TV show that your parents say is rotting your brain. This could literally be you're going to project TikTok onto your TV and you're going to scroll on the big screen, okay? This could be Hinge, Tinder, and you're going to swipe on the TV. But all I'm saying is that do the thing and make it cozy for yourself. Make your room, make your living room, make that area of your home like a entire hug for yourself, okay? That's going to be your happy fucking holiday. All I'm saying is just, it doesn't have to be a sad down moment. It can be a cozy, incredible, delicious moments in the comfort of your home, okay? But make it a little bit different than your normal cozy nights, okay? Make it special because you deserve that. Okay, going outside of yourself. This is something that I was thinking about when it came to holiday joy. And I know it's going to sound cheesy, but a lot of times when we're feeling upset and sad during this time, which I would like to say again, you are allowed to feel, there are also some ways to sort of get outside of yourself. And I think when I'm struggling myself, it's helpful to like listen to other people's problems. That can be friends, that can be family. And if you want to go one step further, go volunteer somewhere. I know this sounds cheesy, but seriously, like getting outside of you can help really shift your perspective a little bit. And once again, this is not to push your problems down. I just think that it feels good to help other people. It feels so good to make somebody else feel good. So if you feel like shit, go make somebody else feel fantastic. Go make somebody's day, week, month. Go hand out coffee to a stranger. Buy the coffee for the person behind you. Compliment that person that you see. And this brings me to my last and final point, and that is, remember when we were kids and we used to get so excited over the holidays? At least this was my experience. I used to be so happy. I couldn't wait before Christmas. Every single Christmas song, I wanted to sing it. And it just felt like the holidays lasted such a long time and they were glorious. They were such a fantastic time. I felt loved. I felt excitement. And the red and green ran through my veins. I loved every moment of it. And as I got older, I don't know exactly when, but it just kind of like became this time of year. It became this, oh no, it's Christmas time. Here we go again. I'm upset. I'm frustrated. I'm sad. Like, where did the magic go? What happened? When did I become such a Grinch? When did I stop liking Christmas trees and ornaments and stockings? When did I become too Grinchy for those joy-filled sides of the holidays? We don't have to be perfect, done up, smiling at a gathering like everything's okay, but we don't have to be full-blown Grinches either. Okay, there is an in-between ground. We can be struggling to smile and suffering a little bit while still putting on our gloves, going outside and making a snowman. We can still be messy and broken while also being silly and trying to make somebody else feel good during this time of year. So this is to say that I've been struggling with choosing joy lately. And I understand that I've spent the last, 30 minutes or however long that's been trying to tell you about how it's okay to be sad during the holidays, which I still stand behind. But joy is a choice. And, I kind of hate that. Like sometimes I just literally want to be upset. Sometimes I want to be angry. And you know what? It's a lot easier for me to be frustrated and upset than try to shift my whole mood into being happy and joyful. And it pisses me off because I know it's a choice and I know that I could do it if I really tried. You know what I also hate? I hate purchasing Christmas decorations and I hate setting them up and I hate having to store them all year. But guess what? I came home from Thanksgiving this year and my roommate had put up a Christmas tree with disco balls on it and pink cute ornaments and made an entire bow garland, had a stocking, and then said, I need you to get a stocking because I have a gift for you. And I was sitting there, all I was thinking about was, well, fuck, I don't want to have to go buy a stocking when literally our living room is now like a Christmas castle because of this woman. And she has put in all this work to create all this joy every time I look around the living room. And I'm sitting there thinking, I really don't want to have to go spend $5 on a stocking right now. Forgetting the fact that the stocking is because she wants to put a gift in it for me. Okay. Her and I don't even do gifts. We've literally never done gifts, but she, out of the goodness of her heart, out of the blue, wanted to give me a gift. And all I'm sitting there thinking is being a Grinch, not wanting to get a stocking. And I was ranting to my boyfriend about this, and he just goes, go spend $5 on a stocking and let her put the gift in it and get her a gift too. Because guess what? You deserve to be happy. And if you are sitting there choosing to be upset, who are you letting rob this from you? Who is getting joy from you being upset? Nobody. Nobody is winning in that situation. In fact, you're losing. Big L time. Big, big, big L when you're sitting there being a dick and being frustrated and being sad and being joyless for no reason. Nobody wins. It just makes you lose. Ultimately, this is the time of year where you need to be extra kind to everybody around you. And I'm not talking about doing a whole bunch of crazy stuff for everybody in your life. I'm literally just talking about being more patient when that person cuts you off in the freeway. If your barista's makeup looks so good, tell her that it's phenomenal. Don't just keep it inside in your brain and thinking it. Let them know that they look so good. Help them feel good about their day because you're going to feel better too after you make them feel good. Give that person a little bit of grace for showing up late to that event that you spent so much time planning. Okay, this shit is hard for everybody, not just hard for you. Don't forget it. That's all I have for you guys. Overall, protect your peace through boundaries. It is okay to spend less time at a gathering if it's going to protect your peace and everybody else's peace around you. Try to choose joy when you can and be kind to other people. I love you guys so much. Happy holidays. I hope you have a great rest of your week and a beautiful holiday season. I'll catch you on the flip side, and cheers.